What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hey, guys. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? I'm Anthony. I'm Anthony. I'm Anthony.
I'm Manny. I'm Manny. I am Sir Man of Arrowverse.
And welcome back to a DCTV Weekly Recap. What's up, guys? I'm Anthony.
I'm Manny.
And we're back with another sort of DCTV Weekly Recap, week 5?
I think it is 5.
Yeah.
Shit.
Pretty sure it's week 5.
Knuckin' futz.
Yeah. It's going pretty quick.
It is, as always. But let's start it off
with Supergirl.
Alright. So, guys, you remember in the season finale, Lena made that lead bomb, and it just went, and everything dissipated into the air? Yeah, so, turns out children are now dropping like flies with lead poisoning. And she's thinking to herself, I'm to blame for this because there wasn't any lead in the air until I made something happen.
I mean, don't forget, she's not only blaming herself. Morgan Edge was on the news pretty much saying it's all Lena's fault.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to remember that originally this was a device that was made by her brother,
yeah.
Lex, and she altered it so that, you know, to help with the takeover. So now she's got this newfound, like, guilt of, you know, being a Luthor, aside from that, to also being like, am I responsible for the death of children now? Like, that's a really severe thing to come to grips with if it's true.
Yeah.
But as she's going through this transition and, you know, basically getting death threats, murder attempts on her, she's staying at Sam's house, and while they try and figure this out, and Kara and Sam, it was a nice little team up that they had,
yeah.
because it's so funny because you know that later on in the season these two are gonna be fucking fighting. So it's like anything that builds up, you know, like that's gonna keep building their friendship to all of a sudden just have it go to shit is cool. It's cool for me. I'm really okay with that. They made a good team. They actually found out that, guess what? The man who was throwing shit was the one that pretty much was responsible for the whole thing. Morgan Edge, who's evil for no reason, just is the one who was actually poisoning the pools that these children were swimming in by what was the
Acrely Chemicals.
Yeah, so that is a company that
because they make the chlorine for the pools.
Yeah, so they were using a compound that was toxic that gives off basically the same simulated effects as lead poisoning. So these children are in the hospital because of Morgan Edge, because he owns that company, and he's trying to blame Lena. What I don't understand is he really that much of a piece of shit that he's just like, heh, fuck the children, they can die, and I'll blame it on her. Spite. Like that. I don't know why he's this awful of a human being. That's all. I just want to know. You know, like every villain that we've ever seen in these Arrowverse episodes, like, they all have a reason for what they're doing. I mean, unless I'm wrong.
No, you're on track.
He has no motive for any of this. It's just he's just like, I'm bad. But why are you bad? It doesn't matter. I'm bad. Like, it annoys me. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, the best villains are the quote unquote justified villains. You know, the ones that they may not be right, and you may not agree with them, but at least them themselves have a purpose to what they're doing.
Yeah.
For him, it just seems like they're writing him as be the biggest villain you could possibly be.
Yeah.
No reasons.
It's like his script literally just says, scumbag. And he's just like, okay, I got this.
He's like, excuse me, what's my motivation? Be a piece of shit. Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So same as last week.
Yes. All right. Ongoing? Fantastic. Let's do it. I mean, I feel like there's like a little bit of potential there, but I need some motivation, dude.
And it's bothering me, we're 5 episodes in, and we still don't have the main villain of the season. Now, you could say it's going to be Sam.
Who's going to become Rain.
Right, but it's like, if they're not going to pull a trigger on her becoming that until, like, halfway through, and then make her the big season villain, it's like, really?
It seems like Edge might be the one. I mean, this is like the poorest of poor man's Maxwell Lords. Like, ugh, awful. I mean, I just want them to do more with him. But he also tried to kill Lena by putting her on a plane that he himself was controlling to basically go into the reservoir with all those chemicals to have it spread across everywhere so that everyone can fucking start getting lead poisoning, because this guy's such a gift that keeps on giving. There was a really cool scene where the ship broke in half and Kara was holding both up. And Lena had to jump on her because she couldn't hold both simultaneously, both pieces of the ship. So that was a really cool scene. The special effects were really dope on that. But aside from the plane breaking up, transition to Alex and Maggie. Why? Floriana Lima, why did you have to have a job somewhere else? For real. Like, why couldn't you just be a recurring role? Like, at least let us know that you're still there and you're with Alex. I'm totally fine with that because I'm all for the love of you two, and now it's gone. And I'm upset.
It hurt.
They really I feel like the show's gonna lose something big with this because this was becoming an anchor for the show. Their relationship, I was like, yes, yes, and now it's gone. And I feel like they could have done it in a better way where it wasn't so cliched. I mean, it was like, break up, we're sad, we're packing, we start laughing, we have sex, we end up talking, and then after everything...
But that last time she hit her with when she's literally in the crack of the door closing and she's like, you're going to make a great mom.
Yeah.
And it was almost like Alex wanted to go after her again. It's like, why? You know she's not having kids.
Yeah, but it's just like, I just can't believe that she wouldn't, she can't bend the... it can't even be like, oh yeah, maybe with you.
You know what it was? No. Here's the thing for me. It broke my heart that they broke up. Even though I was on and off the train. The thing that I didn't understand is we got Alex's motives and we got her thoughts on why she wanted to be a mom so badly. But all we got from Maggie's side, from what we heard from Alex and stuff like that, was just Megan doesn't want kids. Megan doesn't want kids. Megan doesn't want kids. I would have been more okay with it, more understanding of the breakup, if we had heard just as much depth of Maggie's argument as we did with Alex. Tell us why you don't want kids.
Yeah.
Tell us what is so, why you're so against having kids. Tell us. Yeah. Make us understand, and then we'll feel for it, And it won't just be they have to break up. It'll be I don't know, I just feel like we could have heard her side.
Yeah.
And especially what we just found out with a couple weeks ago with her and her father. I feel like it would have been a nice place for her to either say, I don't want to have my kids resent me like I resent my father, or I don't want something. Give us something of Maggie's argument to really balance the playing field of this issue.
Yeah, the script wasn't crazy strong in terms of the content for certain things this episode, but what they did do well was basically, the lead poisoning aspect, it was just that whole thing going on with Lena was really intense, and I loved how intense it was. I feel like they've been lacking intensity in certain episodes, and this was nice to have it.
Yeah, and it was nice to really break open Lena's shell a little bit and see her so vulnerable and so down.
Yeah, because she's always so businesslike and she's always so confident and pretty much just yes, I got this. We can do this, whatever it is. And instead, it's just how do I come back from this? She literally was on the brink of what the fuck am I doing with my life right now? And it was, it was a great way to test the acting chops. And like I said, I did like Samantha and Cara working together because it's gonna continue to build this little trinity that they have, her, them and Lena, and it's this is gonna go to shit, and when it does, it's gonna be heartbreaking, it's gonna be awful, and it's gonna make for a better payoff.
Let's not forget another little stepping stone they had with Sam, where during a press conference, shots were fired at Lena.
Lena, yeah.
And at the very end of the episode, they acknowledge that Sam has a hole in her shirt. Ruby tells her. And when she looks and she pulls it up, a bullet falls out and it's flattened. So pretty much what happened was the bullet did hit her, but it bounced off and crushed. Also, you find out that she was adopted by Cara, which was a nice little line during their investigation where she said, "Oh, I'm adopted too." So... there you go.
There's a story to be told, guys. I'm loving the mystery with Sam. I really am. I think Sam is holding her own as a character coming in fresh into the season, and oh boy, that payoff when she just shits all over everyone is just gonna be amazing. I don't know why I keep using shit metaphors. I'm sorry. It's kind of late tonight, guys, but overall, I liked the episode a lot. Except for the Morgan Edge thing, the guy's annoying me. I just give me some fucking depth here, please. And I just feel like the relationship with Maggie and Samantha could have been handled a little better. But aside from that, there were some really cool moments and some very intense moments that explored the character of Lena Luthor that we haven't gotten to explore yet, which was much needed, and it built on the foundation of the three of them showing how close they're becoming, and that was much needed. And going forward, we're gonna get to see. I'm sure they're gonna get even closer and closer and closer, and you're just gonna be like, oh my god, it's gonna end. I hope just bring back Maggie. I want to hear that she fucking moved to Metropolis, got stationed over there and shit. Don't give me that shit. All right. But other than that.
But as we close on Supergirl, we open up The Flash. So this week on The Flash, we're getting closer and closer to the wedding day, and we have the Bachelor and Bachelorette parties, respectively. So we get Barry and his crew going out, and Iris and her crew going out, both of which have no friends, really, just the people we know from the show.
But, alright, but Barry, like, literally works with, and, like, you know, interacts with the people that he was, like, there with or whatever, and I know Iris does too, but, like, Barry, you've seen Barry have fun with these people. Like, Iris you never really saw, like, interact, like, with Caitlyn.
And Caitlyn even said, like, we're not really friends.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, like, it was sadder for Iris. Like, it was just, like, Iris.
But you want to know something?
Really?
I mean, obviously I understand they did it because you're only going to include the people who are important to the show.
But I feel like
because you're going to have an
episode.
But it's like,
Felicity was
like, really, Barry works for the CCPD. You're going to tell me none of those cops are, like, his buddy that he would say, hey, come out? Yeah. Like, nothing, you know? And same with Iris. No one from the reporting, nothing.
Does she even have a job anymore? Like, what the fuck? They don't even talk about her work. Like, come on, guys.
But both parties, they were planning on a very calm and enjoying night, just relaxing. Both turned into an adventurous night in their own ways.
Of course.
So we'll start with the Barry side.
Yeah. Lighter.
They're planning on just showing a slideshow of like old home movies. Which Joe realizes, wow, I was super young when Barry and Iris were growing up, and now I'm having a kid, and I'm not young anymore. And they were just going to have a good time like that, go off his mistakes. And then Ralph Dibny shows up, which I really felt bad when he was like, I thought this was a test. And like, no, you just weren't invited.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad.
Well, because he didn't even care. Like, it went over his head.
Anyway.
So he's like, no, this is what we're going to do. He brings him to a strip club. And Cisco makes Barry a concoction that could actually get him tipsy.
And I knew that was going to happen.
The only point was to get him tipsy. But it ends up he miscalculates the chemical balance and it gets Barry shit-faced. He is bombed.
Got some peanuts in the bar.
When he sat down and just went like this, Cisco's like, what did you do? He's like, oh, I ran to the bar and got some peanuts. It was amazing. I mean, the comedy this year is killing it every episode. With Flash. But aside from the comedic gold we got in the strip club, one of the strippers comes on stage to dance, and it's
Cecile's daughter.
And Joe has that face on again, like that. His brain stopped working. Yeah. But apparently she's working on like a
feminist
book or project showing of the viewpoint of a empowered woman, or and this was one of her angles. Somehow a bar fight breaks out because Dibny owes money or stole money. So the whole bar starts breaking out. This whole strip club starts breaking out into a fight, and they all get arrested. And the one to get them out is Wells, which
good old Harry.
Yeah, he wasn't around for the fight itself. That's pretty much all we got from Barry's side. It was just every time they went back to him, it was just the comedy.
Yeah, it was light. It was light.
But there is a heart-to-heart in the jail cell of Joe expressing to Barry how scared he is because he's older now, and Barry explains to him, "Look, everything you've done for Iris, for me, has always been alone. Even when Wally came into the picture, you were alone. Now you have family, you can do it.
You got help,
and you have Cecile. So that was Barry's side." A little more interesting on the Iris front because it really focused on Caitlyn and between her bond with Killer Frost and what is going on with what we find out is like Snake Eye Tongue guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah. But the secret's out about Caitlyn.
Yeah, now the secret's out that she's still Killer Frost and she can manipulate the form and all those kinds of things. But you find out she was working for, I believe, Amunet Black. Interesting power. She's able to control metal. Yeah. But it seems like only that bucket that she has. Like, she's not Magneto.
Yeah. No, not at all. I mean, she seems like a potentially good villain. Like, her sinisterness is what made her like so fun to watch. But if all she's doing is like, she doesn't seem like she's formidable if like Barry.
I gotta say, the first time her and Killer Frost faced off, like near the bridge under that overpass, bad fight, in my opinion. Just because it really seemed like cut to Killer Frost doing something, cut to Amunet Black getting hit with it. She fights back, cut to Killer Frost getting hit with it. Killer Frost, and that was it until Killer Frost went down. At least their second fight in the factory, in the warehouse, there was a lot more landscape to it. You were able to see what was going on, especially when Caitlyn made the snow dome, an ice dome to protect them. There was more in that fight than just back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah. Because she was selling a metahuman.
Well, yes, I was just getting to that. I mean, Black's plan right now was to re-enlist Killer Frost to help her because she has a metahuman. She found a metahuman that she dubbed the Weeper, whose tears are pretty much like a drug or can be turned into a drug. Yeah, his tears can do that, and you find out yes, he was another bus meta. So now we have 4 bus metas. Although he seems to get away from they don't actually save him. They release him, but they don't save him.
Yeah, because he's like get away from me. Like, no, thank you. Okay, you fucking ungrateful sack of shit. Jesus Christ, what the hell's wrong with you?
I'll make you cry now.
For real, we just freed you. You were chained up and beaten until you cried, and your tears were being stolen from you. Someone frees you. Get away from me. All right, fuck you. How about you get back into the chains?
Get in there.
Yeah, you know what? Go back into the truck, you dickhead.
So the episode really focused on Killer Frost and Iris talking to her and her trying to not really break free of one personality or the other, but trying to cope with them together.
Right.
Killer Frost really admitting she kind of doesn't want to kill. But then something stupid at the end. I mean, Amunet Black loses her metal things. They look like fucking clothespins.
Yeah, they turned magnets on and
they took them away from her. So she's defenseless. Snake Eye Guy is a bitch. Because he got bitched in the first 30 seconds after Killer Frost showed up anyway. And she wants to kill her, but Iris says, don't kill her. Okay, that's totally understandable. Don't kill her. I get it. But then Killer Frost is like, get out of here. What? And then she just lets them go.
Yeah, just get out of here, you ass.
Yeah, get out of here, you scamp. But and even Amulet Black said, she's like, I'm gonna ruin you, or I'm gonna take something from you. Yeah. It's like, you could have at least stuck her in the pipeline.
Or knock her out and let the fucking police take her. Why would you just let her leave? Especially when you know that she's promising vengeance against you in the future. Why give her the opportunity to just ruin something?
I mean, that was such a forced setup to say that she's coming back later on in the season to do something, and it's you could have given it, you could have left it for the police. They could have put her in the meta wing.
That's a big plot hole.
You could have stuck her in the pipeline where you stick every other meta you ever meet. Stick her in the pipeline. Are you kidding me? You just let her go like she dropped your fucking baseball in the yard and you get out of here, you little scamp. What?
Yeah, it didn't make no sense.
I was like, is she really letting her go right now?
Can you imagine if police officers did that? Hey, you fucking murderer, get out of here! What are you doing?
Get out of here! You better try this again.
It's I'm gonna kill someone that you love later. Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Bye.
It's dinner time.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my god, I can't. I was like, are you kidding me?
Come on, Caitlyn. Jesus Christ.
Nice, funny scene though when they all converge back at Star Labs and Cisco sees Killer Frost in the room. He's like, I'm so tired. We'll do this tomorrow.
Yeah, can we do this tomorrow? I'm just.
But it pretty much ends with Caitlyn explaining the whole thing of her still having Killer Frost in there and everything, and then we get this last scene of the Weeper running away and the Thinker stopping him. And this is the first time we see him out of his little, futuristic headquarters. Yeah, but he's still running around in his bootleg Mobius chair. And he's just floating there.
Shooting things.
And he just shoots a laser at him. He's like, you are not fulfilled your part of the plan yet. Some shit. And a laser just goes, and that was the end. Yeah, that was it.
You see, what annoys me is that, I feel like every other show is at least making some kind of progress towards something bigger. And, Flash just gives you 1 minute scenes of the Thinker every episode where he's just this is a plan. Everything's part of the plan. A plan, and it's a plan. And it's just
because right now they're really focusing on those other metas that are out there that they're looking for.
But they're just villains of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. I don't feel like there's any stakes here. You know what I mean? I'm just villain of the week. I feel like it's very heavy on the humor, but it's very light on the plot.
Okay, I understand. I can see where you're coming from.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There have been good episodes and stuff. I'm not saying that there haven't been. I'm just saying that for the whole season, though, it's felt very light on the plot.
Yeah, I'm hoping that once Once Barry really confronts the Thinker, at least for the first time, because I believe it's supposed to happen in episode 9, that they're going to meet face to face. I think it is, right?
That's the mid-season finale.
I believe it's episode 9. They're going to come face to face for the first time. I'm hoping after that the plot really like takes off. Like now, there's no more build up to meeting him. Like now they could really dig in and do what they got to do. You know, I'm hoping the plot really takes off from there. But yeah, overall, heavy on the comedy again. A focus solely on pretty much a lot on Caitlyn and the Killer Frost aspect. Yeah, not much more to say about this episode.
No,
really.
What's it called?
Oh, Cisco mentioned this house is bitching again.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was nice to see like the females actually get their just due and show like what they can do just on their own as well. Because it's like just like it's like no, we are part of the team and we can fucking take care of business as well if need be.
Yeah.
And so that was like a nice little twist.
Although really, they did shit. Except for Killer Frost. They did shit. They were there with the guns, and then they got stopped.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Now, on to Legends of Tomorrow. Mañana. Alright. So.
Tell it, Manny. Tell it.
Yes, okay. So, this episode, Return of the Mack, the song is stuck in my head still. I don't know about
me too.
You. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I've listened to it a good 30 times today. It's just horrendous. Great song, though. But we go into 1895 London. Great opening scene where Rip looks like Jack the Ripper.
I actually thought that's what it was.
Yeah,
I did.
So that was great. It wasn't Jack the Ripper. It was Jack the Rip Hunter. And what's it called? So there, first of all, people are getting drained of blood, and there's two little bite marks, or what seem to be bite marks on the neck. So it's like we have a vampire in the building, guys. Mick gets like a metaphorical hard-on because he's like, I love vampires, I want to kill them. And then you find out that he's had a stake on him since fucking birth, apparently.
I just have to say, it's so funny to see his hatred for vampires or his obsession with vampires. And he played Dracula in Blade Trinity.
Oh, he did.
The third Blade movie. He played Dracula.
That's funny.
So it's a funny connection there.
That is funny. I wonder if that was probably done on purpose.
I think so.
Yeah, they do a lot of that stuff on purpose. But
because that's the very first time I ever saw Dominic Purcell was as Dracula in Blade. Okay. So to see him here with reading Dracula and then hating, I was like,
yeah, he was reading the book throughout the entire episode. So they actually they travel because Rip actually needs help. The Time Bureau does not want to help him when it comes to Mollis. Like they're like, no, we're good. And I
don't know if they think he doesn't exist because it seemed like he was trying to find proof of his existence.
Yeah, but like the whole thing is that they didn't sanction or grant like the ability to even like delve into it. So he is basically like on his own again, which is what he's pretty much used to by now. And he enlists the help of the legends again, just like old times. Excuse me. Now,
was that a sneeze or a cough?
Sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you. And what's very interesting is the fact that like what they did was they didn't just let him come back into the chair of like oh, I'm the captain again. And everyone's like, oh, okay, cool. It was like, no, fuck nut, you're not the fucking captain anymore. Sarah is, because there were times where he tried to take control, and they're like, I'm not listening to you. Sarah, what do you want to do? And I love that because it shows you how far they've come as a team and how much loyalty they actually have for their actual captain. Right. So that was cool. That was great. And but it was nice because they were also showing you like how much you kind of miss like season 1 and 2 with Rip with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, with certain moves that they did, and they find out that there was a man who was taken. There was a body that was taken, and it was a man that fell off a building, and his watch was taken by the guy who was basically the coroner, right?
Yeah, he was the coroner.
And there was something fishy because the watch is ringing and it's Return of the Mack, and they find out once they lift the watch off the guy that there's a couple fingerprints on it. One, Ray Palmer, of course, because he touched it, and 2, Oliver Queen. Well, how is that Oliver Queen? It looks like a 2016 model of a watch. Who's the body that's in there that they're trying to resurrect? Because they're using all this blood that they're draining from these people to basically reignite a life.
Yeah.
And it's this life that they have in this like tub, and it's like, who the fuck is this person? Guess who it is, guys? Drum roll. It's Damian Darhk. What?
Woo! Okay. Big difference with Damian Darhk with this one is that this is not the 1970s Damian Darhk we got last season in Legion of Doom.
No, it is not.
This is the for lack of a better term, present-day Damian Darhk.
With all of his memories.
From Season 4 of Arrow that Oliver killed.
Yeah.
And they're trying to bring him back. He even has the scar of where Oliver stabbed him.
Yep. So, there's a medium that's actually in this episode as well, who, I mean, I'm hearing things that she's actually supposed to be Damian Darhk's daughter. Maybe she's another type of descendant, but if you look at her credits in like IMDb, like her last name is Darhk. I believe it's Eleanor Darhk. But we'll get into that later on in the season, obviously, when they make the official announcement. But she actually does have powers to like speak to the afterlife and like use her as the medium and speak with their voices and stuff. So we find out that Zari actually left her brother for dead.
Yeah.
Which is why she's got so much guilt towards her
Which
family.
is a heavy backstory.
Yeah, and she doesn't want like to keep the amulet anymore, or the totem, sorry. And it's like, what's it called? So it's like she has all this basically like resentment and guilt for herself because it's like, yo, you left your family to die, which we didn't know. We just knew that her brother was killed and that was it. But we didn't know that it was because like she literally left so she could survive, and just bye. That is a very heavy burden to carry. And while that's going on, this woman Eleanor Darhk basically manipulated her to take the totem.
Yes.
And use it to like resurrect Darhk. I mean, she got the totem back, obviously, but it did aid in like resurrecting Damian because guess what, guys? He's alive now. And
they actually got through with it, which the whole episode I was crossing my fingers. I was like, please don't let this just be a red herring where like they want to resurrect Darhk, but at the end they don't manage to.
Yeah,
and I was so happy that they went through with it.
No, and what was even cooler was that they actually had him. So like the Time Bureau comes in too, right when he gets resurrected because they're trying to put an end to him. And as this is going on, he starts killing members of the Time Bureau to the tune of Return of the Mack, which was amazing. They even did a little disc skip where he's like waves his finger and he goes and then like fucking.
And it was great because it looked like he was having a great time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was like it looked like it was dance moves that he was doing with the whole shit. You know, kicking and the punching. Like it was just so freaking cool.
I love Damian Darhk.
Like
oh my god.
But they did such a good job choreographing the episode. Like the way the episode just went. It just felt right.
And you know what's funny? When he was Arrow's main villain for season 4, I was like I liked him as a villain. He was no Deathstroke to me, but I liked him. You know, I was okay with him because, as you know, season 4 isn't my least favorite like yours.
Yeah.
But what really kicked him off was when he was part of the Legion of Doom last year in Legends. You know, he really got to express his comedy more as Damian Darhk and his sarcasm and everything. I really loved him, and now to have him back and it's present day Darhk. Oh.
And the reason why he's resurrected is because he's a big part of Malas's plan.
Which we still don't know. No. So now Malas, as far as we know, has Kuasa, which is like a water assassin person.
Yeah, badass.
And Damian Darhk, which is... I mean, there's nothing left. All you have to say is Damian Darhk. There's no explanation needed.
2 heavy players. And apparently his daughter.
What plan could Malas be having? Also, can't forget, Rip did manage to have a conversation with Malas through the medium. Kudos for her with this part because like she really portrayed almost like he wasn't human kind of, you know, like she had that kind of like arched back snarl kind of like he was like a creature kind of thing.
Freaky as shit.
Yeah, so I was like, God, it was a great job.
It was freaky as shit. Yeah, it was really cool. And while that was going on, well, actually, also to end that specific plot, Rip is like not on active duty anymore. Yes,
because what happened was when he was... Sarah wanted to...
She wanted to get the Time Bureau off her ass.
Well, not only that, her and Rip disagreed on where to go with the plan because she wanted to make sure that Darhk wasn't resurrected, or she...
No, she wanted to kill him.
She wanted to kill him, yes. Yeah. But Rip wanted to wait long enough so he can get more evidence on Malas. So they disagreed on that, and Rip ended up trapping them in the ship by using one of his codes for Gideon, which why he even still has voice recognition controls on that ship anymore is beyond me. Because Sarah just turned around, she's like, well, Gideon, I'm the captain now, turn it off. She's like, well, I can fly, but I can't do anything else.
Yeah. Apparently, apparently that was the last one.
Yeah, that was the last
Thankfully.
one. But after that, Sarah's like, you know, you made us trust you again when I was skeptical to begin with, and you did that to us. And she's like, pretty much I'm taking a play out of your book, I'm being cold, and boom, the Time Bureau comes in and takes Rip away.
Because it's very clear that despite everything that's been going on, Rip doesn't trust anybody.
Right.
Still. And that is basically his downfall now, because now he has nothing. He doesn't have his job, he's being held by the Time Bureau, and he got screwed over, and the Legends are free to roam time.
Yeah, Time Bureau gave them their free pass.
Yep, in exchange for the information that they got from Rip.
But Rip, before he left, pretty much still warned Sarah, like, Malice is out there, he does exist, and you need to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other plot that was going on was Jax trying to disband Firestorm.
Yes.
He was given an experimental serum by Ray to see if it would basically disconnect their emotional connection that they have. The funny thing that I remember he said was, last time I got laid, Gray went up to me and said, well done, Jefferson. So it's like, that's a little too intimate for me, man. I couldn't imagine what that must be like to, do that and then have someone actually, know what you did. And it's like, someone of, a grandfather's age, too. It's, weird. But, first Stein is, upset because when he finds out, because he's like, you're doing this behind my back. It's like, everything that we've been through, you want to get rid of me and whatever. But then he, comes to grips with the fact, okay, no, you're trying to actually look out for me. You're trying to make it so that I can be with my family. And he goes, I'm very grateful for the fact that you're thinking of me in such a high regard. So, one thing that I do love is that they're handling his departure so fucking well. I don't feel like they're pushing it where it's, rushed or anything like that. They're doing it at the exact pace that it should be at.
I mean, as of right now, we still don't see an end in sight of where he's leaving. Mm-hmm. Because at the end, they had their little makeup, and Stein pretty much said, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but right now with Malice, finding out about Malice and now Damian Darhk is back, we can't afford to not have Firestorm.
Yeah.
So, as of right now, there is no end in sight, but we do know it's coming.
Exactly.
But like you said, they are taking their time with it.
But not to a point where it's too slow or too fast. The exact pace that it should be at right now. So that's got to be said. Also, we noticed that the two totems of Zari and Amaya, they kind of splashed on each other. They were in front of each other, and then the totem just they kind of wanted to hey, I'm here too. What's up? And so we don't know. They're connected in some way.
Yeah,
we need to find out.
We still don't know how, but we do see that they can interact, and they sense each other pretty much.
Exactly. So there's quite a few things to be unraveled still in the.
I mean, even Zari was able to pull a Star Wars move and just use the Force to get the totem back.
Summon it back, and she's like, "It's my totem, bitch."
But yeah,
really cool episode.
Overall, Damian Darhk really was just boop, cherry on top.
Yep, Return of the Damian Darhk, man. Oh man.
But as we close on Legends, we go with Arrow. So Arrow, there really was no Arrow this week. Between Oliver being with Slade, not being Green Arrow, and Agent Watson still on the trail of the Green Arrow and all this, John wasn't able to don the hood this week either. So no Green Arrow. No Green Arrow at all this week. But we do see that Slade enlists the help of Oliver, not for his fighting capabilities or anything like that, but he does need him for democracy. Because he needs him to help him get his son back from Kosnia. He tracked him down there. Of course, now his son is much older than we originally heard, because his son was a kid the last time we saw him. And throughout the episode, you get flashbacks of him on a camping trip with his son, just the two of them. He explains that he works for an airline. He's a pilot, and that's why he always has to run and travel all the time. Meanwhile, the only reason he's camping is to get a mark, pretty much. And you do find out that his mark has connections to Yao Fei. So this flashback pretty much happens right before the start of how he ends up on the ANU, I would assume.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because he says, where's Yao Fei? And he goes, he's in purgatory.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the explanation of how he got there, or how the trail started to get there.
Yeah.
So as they're in Kosnia, you find out his son was arrested. And when Oliver goes to get his son out, the prison warden or whoever says that pretty much he's dead. There was a fight on the grounds, and he tried to break it up, but he was pushed and hit his head, and he died.
Yeah.
Although there was no body to identify anyway.
Nope, was no suspicion.
Yeah, so Oliver then tells Slade, but, and then Slade breaks down. He never knew I loved him, this and that. But Oliver says, say goodbye now. So when they go back and he takes Slade with him, he explains there's no body. And then he ends up telling the truth. That the group that his son was investigating, the Jackals, broke into the prison and took him away. So at that point, Slade's like, fuck doing this the easy way. Oliver, I don't need your help anymore. I'm donning the mask.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Deathstroke is back.
Pretty cool sequence.
Yeah, so, okay, we're going to save this little bit for the end, because it's just so great. And we're going to go back to the home front, where we have Vigilante is back.
Yeah.
Finally. Unfortunately, you do find out that the Pike theory is wrong, which really pisses me off, because what we did get, I feel like, is so stupid. I'm sorry. Like, I think it would have been so much more interesting if it was Pike. Like, I was on board with your theory 110%. But what you do find out is Canary ends up using her cry against him and shatters his visor. And when he takes his helmet off, you find out that it's her old partner, who she was also in love with. Yeah, and it's like, okay. So pretty much what happened was, during the particle accelerator explosion, when he got shot in the back of the head, I guess it somehow gave him powers to have a bulletproof face?
Yeah.
Or a bulletproof head. Something like that. I don't know if his whole body is bulletproof, because right now we only see the face.
I mean, he took another bullet.
He took another bullet to the face.
I mean, this one hit him right in the forehead, and he just, like, peels it off. So it's literally like, hey, what's your superpower? Bro, take this guy to the bar. He'll be taking shots to the face all day.
Pretty much. I mean, I actually stopped and I laughed, because he turned around and got the bullet right in the face
slow
again.
Motion, just...
It's like, how many times is this guy going to get shot in the face? And the episode... Come on! But this episode
Only 2 times!
So far. But this episode really dealt with Dinah's struggle of saying, he's not the man I remember at all. He's just a psychopath. He's a killer. He's a monster. And John trying to talk her down and saying, like, maybe he's just somebody who needs help.
Yeah.
I
need help because I like to find out where Lila is. I have not seen her yet, and John's spending a little too much time with Dinah.
Especially if she was training in the bunker.
Yeah.
I think Lila would have had a little bit of a problem with that.
I don't know, maybe. Who knows? She has to be involved in his life in order to give a fuck. Like his wife and child are just...
But I feel like ever since Dinah came on the show, there's just been this tension between her and John the whole time. And it's done on purpose for some ungodly reason.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, and like Lila's just not around.
Yeah, and that doesn't help. Like, where's your wife, bro?
Like we saw Amanda Waller more when she was running Argus than we see Lila as she's running Argus.
Yeah.
But and that was pretty much the whole episode of Dinah, struggling with this thing with her ex. And it does culminate when they meet again when he gets shot in the face the second time. He just turns around and gets shot in the face again. And she lets him go. And he pretty much says that the reason he's doing this is he's on a mission because they were detectives or cops for 10 years and they accomplished nothing. And I guess he was trying to say that it's because of the weak system or something. I mean, and it's kind of hard to understand him when he's talking through his teeth the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oof.
I know.
Ooh, back it up a little bit, fella. Relax.
Meanwhile, on the other front, Watson is just basically the herpes on the dick of this Arrow.
Oh my god, it's killing me.
Shit. She's playing the role well. She's playing the role really well.
Yeah, because I hate her.
Yeah, you're not supposed to like her, and you're not supposed to, you can't stand her. That's exactly how we feel. So she's doing a great job. She really is. She's literally up everyone's ass.
Yeah, but I just feel like it's like I think we can just slow it back a little bit because I feel like as much as she's around, she's done nothing.
I know.
She called Felicity into her office. All she asked her was, would you lie on the stand and commit perjury? And Felicity's like, well, I'm his alibi. And she's like, would you tell a jury that? Yeah. Get out. Okay. And then, Renee was called, but we never saw that interview. And she wanted to talk to John, but we never saw that interview. Like, what the hell is going on? But she still seems to have all the answers. Like, she gets nothing from her investigation and her interrogations, but she's here.
She acts like she has everything, but she has literally
nothing.
So, yeah.
And even at the end, she sees Dinah outside, and she's like, excuse me, when the lights went out, you were nowhere to be found. Then Black Canary showed up. Oh, so I'm the Black Canary? That's what I'm trying to prove.
I say a lot of things. Oh, okay. Great. Falafel. I say a lot of things too. Like what?
Falafel.
I mean, jeez. All right, but
all right.
let's
So
get to
that really
get to the
is
juicy part.
yes,
of the episode.
that really is the end of what happened in Star City. So now we get back to Kaznia. We get an awesome fight scene with Deathstroke where he just runs through the whole compound or this whole building and just lays waste to everybody.
Dude, savage.
I mean, like,
savage.
even to the point of, like, overkill. Like,
yeah,
he stabs somebody right through the sternum.
Overkill.
And then still shoots them anyway. And it was fantastic. And you saw every bit of it, which I loved.
Yeah.
You know, they really didn't shy away from what he was doing. And I love that. No. Oh, my God. My favorite Deathstroke.
Reminded me of Iris.
Was there a lot? Yeah, I mean, he really... And the camera just tracked him through the whole thing, almost to the point of it seemed like it was all one shot. It was all one take.
Yeah, one sequence,
which was really, really cool. Great job on that part.
Mm-hmm. And the twist!
To the point where he gets there and he gets surrounded. And Nylander, the guy who originally gave him information when they first got to Kaznia.
Yeah, Zoolander's cousin.
Yeah, exactly. Who's also related to Highlander.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's all family.
He is part of the Jackals. And Deathstroke still wants to know where his son is, and he kind of beats around the bush and says, like, you know, we need him. He has secrets.
Because he's supposed to be working for the Australian.
Yeah, all the while, Oliver now shows up at this place because Deathstroke originally drugged him to prevent him from coming to help him because he really wanted him to stay on that side of the line. You know, be the father, not the fighter. But Oliver wakes up and he goes there anyway to help. And he gets there just in time to, like, watch from outside the room at what's unfolding. And what you find out is Deathstroke's son is alive. Mm-hmm. He is not held captive by the Jackals. He is actually the leader of the Jackals.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's where the episode cuts. It actually turns out it's going to be
a two-part.
Almost like a to be continued. Yeah, we're going to pick up next week exactly where we left off now with his son revealing himself as the leader of the Jackals. Mm-hmm. So, wow. What a twist there.
Aside from the amazing Slade fight scene, like action sequence, and that little twist with his son and stuff, I wasn't too crazy about the episode though.
Seemed very stagnant.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Not gonna lie. But yeah. So on to the rankings.
Yeah, sure.
You first.
All right. This week, my first, I will give to Legends right here. Awesome episode. I mean, I can't even complain about a single thing in this episode. And really, Damian Darhk coming back, that's it. That's the topping. That is all you need. You're set. I am sold. Best episode this week, I believe. 2, I will give it to... Supergirl. I'll give it to Supergirl this week. Coming off a strong episode last week with the cult aspect, I really liked this episode. It really delved?
Yeah,
that was a word.
Yeah, it is a word.
Into Lena, and you saw her at that vulnerable state because of Edge and his framing and everything like that. And that ending scene with the plane in half, great scene.
It was definitely epic.
Alex and Maggie breaking up broke my heart, but here we are. Number 3, I will give it to Arrow. Even though it was a stagnant episode, those closing 10 minutes between the Dinah and Vincent meeting, and then everything that happened in Kaznia with Deathstroke and his son, I think really helped the episode get out of last place. You know what I mean? Other than that, really nothing happened, but those last 10 minutes saved it because 4th, I will go Flash. Stagnant overall. You know, I mean, even when you did get the interesting stuff with Killer Frost, it still seemed pointless. Like, it didn't need to have a whole episode dedicated to it, I feel like. They could have added more to it. You know? And with the Weeper getting away and then immediately getting taken by the Thinker, it's like, what was the real point of this episode? Besides showing comedy on Barry's part and then having this, like, girl power thing going on with Iris's half. With the focus on Killer Frost, of course. Yeah. Those are my rankings.
So, for the first time this season, we have the same ranking.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Ding, 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 ding. Legends was definitely the strongest. They furthered the plot with Mollis, and in a big way, because you find out that this recurring character who's been with us now for 3 years. This is the third year. Damian Darhk. And the fact that he's going to have a descendant in this shit, too, who can, like, use her own power to, like, speak to the dead and stuff. Like, I just want to know how all this is going to come into play, because it all seems like a bunch of different things are going to be are like in motion, and when they all culminate and pay off, it's going to be like whoa, ho, 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 ho. So that's going to be cool. And not to mention Return of the Mack, guys. Such a good use of the song and the music. The fight sequences were great. It was just really great. They just did a great thing. They just did a great job with like all the characters too. Like it's just good. I think, in my opinion, it's the most consistent show so far this year out of all four. I haven't had one episode where I was like, eh. So yeah, second Supergirl. Despite the Morgan Edge and situation and the way that they kind of handled the breakup between Alex and Maggie, I still liked that they went back and delved into like potential lead poisoning of children for Lena, because it gave her some depth and explored her character a little more in a different way that they didn't show before. That was great, and it was much needed. And like I said, they keep building that Trinity relationship, and it's going to pay off great. So I hope they keep doing that going forward, because it's only going to benefit. Third, Arrow. I'm maybe a little salty because I really wanted it to be Pike as Vigilante. I thought that it would have made sense for it to.
No, I agree. I hate the reveal they gave us as Vigilante.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was really disappointed with the reveal. I literally was like, no, it's not him. Oh, why? I thought he was dead. Like, but it is what it is. We're gonna, for all we know, it could end up taking a turn, being amazing.
Yeah.
But the fight, the strongest parts were with Slade.
Absolutely.
Like, you do feel it a little. I am starting to feel it a little bit, like with Oliver not being Green Arrow, and not in a good way. I'm feeling it a little bit. Watson's a pain in the dick. I want to see some more of these interviews, because it just seems like, yeah, like you said, they're pointless. And then like last, Flash. It's just like I need some more plot. Like, I will gladly give up some of the humor. Just a little bit, not a lot, because I do love the humor that they're doing. But I give up a little bit of the humor for some more plot. Mm-hmm. I want some heavy plot. I don't want that light plot. Give me the thick plot, please. Give us a thick plot that we can be like, holy shit, this is furthering the story, instead of just like 1 minute of a guy on a chair going, I'm going to collect you. Oh yeah, bitch, it's on. Pew 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 pew. Fuck yeah. Like. Come on, man. Like, can you at least tell us, like, all right, even if he just said, like, okay, the Magnesius is coming into effect. Finally! What the fuck is that? Great, now I'm excited. Instead, it's just...
What's a Magnesius?
I'm just saying a random word. Like, just something to signify a new plan. That's all I'm asking. Like, I want to know. All I know is 12 villains of the week right now, and that's all we got. And it's just like, okay, great. What are you going to do with them? That's for you to find out. I'm waiting. 5 weeks, bro. Fuck, come on. Give us something, please. That's it. I'm done.
All right. Well, you heard it here. Those are our ratings for this week. Comment down below what you thought of each episode, and especially what you think of Damian Darhk coming back, because really that's the biggest thing that happened in all 4 shows this week.
Yeah, and why the fuck did you let Amunet go?
Yeah, and why? Comment on that too.
Am I right, guys? No, Caitlin, you're not right. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you?
If you like what we had to say, like the video, and of course,
subscribe
to get more of these podcasts every week. Until then, I'm Anthony.
I'm Manny.
And we'll see you next time. Later.
Jesus.